Hello everyone and welcome back. My name's LimBryn and this is episode 10 of Parrotcraft, which is pretty cool. In today's episode, we're starting by gathering a bunch of wool, because I've been working on this little project off camera. It's kind of a nether hub, but like not really. It's just some pathways of carpet on the ceiling. But there's a problem with this, which is it takes a while. Every time I want to do one of these paths, which I've only done two so far, I've done the one for the end portal and the one for another fortress that's off that way somewhere. I have to gather wool for like half an hour, because while this is a pretty quick path, it's actually a lot of carpet. So I'm going to fix that problem today by building a sheep farm. Now, I've built sheep farms before, and honestly, they're not that exciting. They're just kind of a bunch of sheep hidden behind a wall with some redstone, which is why I'm going to start with the aesthetics, because I'm not actually that excited to build a sheep farm. I just, need the wool from it. That is a creeper! Okay, was like, okay, I just heard a hiss, but I didn't see anything. Okay, anyway, we're starting with the aesthetics, which I'm going to do it in this area, and it's going to be like a pasture shepherd type thing. And you might say this is a really bad area for that, because it has a bunch of foliage and trees. But we'll get to that later. I'm going to leave these big trees around for now, but I am going to get rid of a lot of the smaller shrubs and stuff, just so I can plan stuff out better. Like this type of thing, it just kind of makes it hard to see. I also am going to probably trim away a lot of the vines, because there's areas like this where it's like I can't see anything there, but it is literally just vines. Like there's no solid blocks. I did hit something, but my point still stands. So I'm going to trim down a lot of the vines, get rid of some of the ground shrubbery, because then I'll actually be able to have a better idea of like what I'm doing with the area. Because I can't really see much right now. It's just kind of trees. That looks a lot better. I can actually like see what I'm doing now, which means I can get onto the terraforming. I need a kind of big open area to pasture sheep. And I'm thinking I'll take this area and expand it some, because I like the hills that are surrounding on this side with the kind of curve of it. But I need more area, so I'm going to expand it this way. I'm going to get rid of this hill, and then I'll have some more flat area, because this is the same level. So we'll go from here over there, push this whole hill back to the crop fields, and we'll see how it looks. That looks pretty good. I've pushed the hill back, put a little cliff here just so it can contain the sheep nicely, and we have a nice little area for pasturing now, which I think is quite nice. I still have a little bit more terraforming to do. I have to make this hill a little bit more impregnable so the sheep can't just, leave, which would be a little bit of an issue. But other than that, we're pretty much ready to start putting some structures in. I've also added a couple more trees, which just because the area felt a little bit empty. But I'm going to start with a wall to keep the sheep in. It's going to be like a stone thing that just kind of goes along the edge of the flat space, connects back over here. Hopefully it'll turn out good. I've never really built a wall without just like some fences before, but I feel like some fences doesn't really fit how big of a thing I need here. So I'm going to try and make a custom wall that the sheep can't get past. We'll see how it goes, but I don't have high hopes. We're actually off to a pretty good start. I think it's looking decent, and I'm pretty sure sheep can't get over it. I mean, like, I can get over it, but to my knowledge, mobs don't really understand the whole kind of being on a block thing like that. They just think of walls as being completely impassable. So I think this works. I'm going to try putting it everywhere else, because obviously I've only done a tiny little section of it, but I like where this is going. I'd say that went pretty wall, if I do say so myself. I finished the entire thing now. I also detailed a lot of stuff just because it was kind of looking a little bland with just the grass. And also, I realized that cows and sheep and like livestock in general really like to itch themselves on stuff, which I've just like seen that online several times. So I decided to strip the bark off of a lot of these trees. I was debating adding like trapdoors to it, which I might do later actually, just because like these trees falling down would be pretty bad. I've also added this stuff on the ground just to like texture the dirt, did that cliff. I think it all looks really good. And I would do the shepherd's hut next, but I'm not really sure what I want to do for that. My initial plan was let's just put it up here, but I think this is actually going to be like a work area type thing, because I need something in this area. It's a little bland. If I don't put something here, there'll just be this weird like little gap in the actual developed area. But I do have a really cool idea for the shepherd's hut, or where the shepherd will live, not the actual workplace, although I don't really know what a workplace would be. I need to build something here so I can have a sheep farm underground, essentially. But where the actual shepherd would live, I think, is going to be up in the trees, which would be another reason to put trapdoors here so the trees don't fall over, because if someone's living in the trees, you definitely don't want them to fall. But I think tree houses are really cool, and jungle trees have these little branches that lend themselves really well to tree houses. I think could just like shave off the top of this, and like it's not a ton of space, but like you could build a really tiny house here, and I think I'm gonna build like a ton of them. Not like so many that it looks absurd, but like one here, one on that limb, one on one of those limbs maybe. Just put them on the naturally generating limbs, and I think that could look really cool. So I'm gonna see how it goes. I've already made a design in creative. I think it looks pretty good. So let's jump straight into a time lapse. Whew, I think those turned out really good. They kind of look like little parrot cages, which I really like because parrots are kind of the whole like thing with this place. But yeah, I've made 10 of them, and they're very just like cookie cutter. I added interiors to them, but they're kind of boring, so I'm not gonna bother going around. So yeah, now that those are done, I think I should probably like actually get onto the aesthetic. Not the aesthetics. I've been doing aesthetics for the entire video so far. I think I should actually get onto the functional part of it, which is going to go like right here or something. I don't think the farms that are in this building extend down too much, so this should be a perfect place to make a little sheep farm. So I guess I have to kind of plan out where I want to do it, but I guess the first step is dig a hole, figure out where the storage system will go, figure out where the farm's going to go, and then we can actually get to like putting some sheep in and stuff. So I did a little bit of planning. I also did a little bit of decoration, and the ground looks horrible right now, but I'm going to finish that later because I don't know what happened. I was trying to do like this type of thing, and it just turned out really quite bad. So yeah, I'll fix that later, but this is kind of going to be the entire farm. It's just a little like wool storage place, and this barrel is going to be the output of the farm. And it's going to kind of be fed by all of these chests, because I figure I'll probably never really need more than like one barrel worth of wool at a time, and this thing will produce a ton. So I'm thinking I just have that. I can take from it when I need. Okay, cool game. And it will be refilled from like this stuff whenever I empty it at all. So I think that should work fine, and there's plenty of space back here to build the sheep farm. So I guess I can actually go ahead and get the redstone in now, and then we can get the sheep. The redstone is in. It's very simple. Grass gets eaten, sheep is sheared. It's the simplest contraption you could ever have. I also put in an item collection system that you can't really see too well, and then it, of course, just all gets funneled into the barrel. But now that the farm's done, it's sheep time. So I gotta go grab some sheep. I have a bunch of sheep. I also have this little thingy to get the sheep to the farm. But instead of bringing the sheep one at a time to the farm from this pen, I think I'll take a couple sheep from here and put them into the nice, pretty sheep pen we built earlier in the episode, and then I can breed them up and get them one at a time from here to the farm, which is a much quicker trip. Now that we got some sheep, I can actually start breeding them, and I think my wall is actually working, which is really good. I mean, they haven't like pathfinded out. It's pathfound, right? Yeah, pathfound sounds so weird though. Anyway, they haven't left yet, which is a good sign. But also there's not that many of them, and hopefully my wall will actually work. And this is kind of just like a test run of it. And if they get out, that's an issue, but it's not that bad because it's not permanent yet. Yeah, I gotta breed them for a bit because I need 16 of these little guys. So I'll be back in a second. We have an issue. This sheep is not in the pen. I don't know. I was doing other stuff. I don't know how it got out. But that's a problem. I don't plan on having many sheep in this pen, but if they can like get out even occasionally, then they're gonna get out occasionally, and eventually there will be none. I actually have no clue how it got out. My best guess is vines, because I didn't get rid of all of them very properly. But I honestly have no clue. This is also an option, like maybe a sheep somehow like their pathfinding will never try to parkour like that, but maybe it accidentally parkoured like that. Like, that's a possibility, I think, but I have no idea what happened. So I guess we're gonna see if it happens again, and maybe I'll catch what happened that time. He was in this area, so I assume it just got up here somehow. So maybe I literally just, like, do that, problem solved. I think that's what I'm gonna do, because I don't know what happened, so yeah. Problem solved, hopefully. I think I almost have enough sheep, so I have to do a little bit more breeding, and then we can actually get them into the farm. I've got all the sheep now, and it hasn't happened again, so I think I fixed the problem with removing that stuff. And I'm going to try getting a sheep in. I don't think I really need much infrastructure for this. I just need a way to get the sheep out of the pen, which is very simple, like that. And I should just be able to lead him into the hole that he goes in, and hopefully that'll work. I'm not really sure if it will, but I'm going to try it, so I guess we'll find out. I do need some random blocks for this, just in case. But there should be a path that I can lead him into via the redstone, which is a little janky, but we're good. Okay, we're going to put him in the farthest one, because I'd rather have it speed up than slow down. So I'm going to go in this hole. Now we break the lead and just, like, push him in? No? No. Wait, maybe? This might take a while. This is exactly why I brought random blocks, so that I can do that, which is a lot easier. And now we just put a trapdoor there, and that sheep is stuck. And this farm should actually now be producing wool. I think I actually need to shear it once, and then it should start. Oh, that's an issue. Okay, I need more glass, I guess. That sheep should eat the grass and then get sheared again. And I have a bunch of shears for this farm. This took me forever, by the way, because they're all on Breaking 3, and I have 5 shulker boxes of them. Oh, and one of them is sheared up because I messed up. But I need to do this 15 more times. And also get some more glass, apparently, so let's do it. We're 2 sheep in, and I've already found an issue. I figured out the problem of how they get out, apparently, because this guy got out without, you know, like, being let out by me. So I believe what is happening, he got out over this little part of the wall. It's just that. I think that's literally it. They can just, like, walk up that. So, fixed? Maybe? Maybe. We'll see. I don't know if it's fixed. I'm going to say it's fixed, though. I said it was fixed last time, and then it was still broken. But it's fixed now for sure, 100%. And, yeah, I have 14 more sheep to do. So I'll be back. And there is the last sheep. I think this thing is done, and it should already be producing kind of ridiculous amounts of wool, hopefully. Yeah, we already got 2 stacks. I think this thing's storage system is going to fill up maybe a bit quick, and I did know this was overkill when I started building it, but, like, I didn't think it'd be that overkill, actually. But anyway, we have a really good sheep farm now, which is cool. I need to actually cover this up, which I don't have blocks for, luckily. There's stone everywhere, and that is done. And it's so like invisible. It's so hidden. I love it. Okay, I guess I should take down this beacon now. But I have a lot of aesthetics left to do, so I guess I'll do those next, because this floor leaving a lot to be desired. I also need some paths going up to, like, that thing and connecting up to the farmer's hut up there, so I've got some work to do still for this project to be finished. It is not going great. I have not even finished everything I said I'd do. I still need to do a path going up that way, and it looks so bad, and I have no idea why. I've kind of made this path, right, and I think this section of it looks good, where it's right up against the cliffs, and there's no grass to be found, because I think that's what's making it look gross. Because I've done things like this before up in this area with, like, the farmers, and there's no grass in sight. I replaced all the ground with podzol, because I thought it looked nice, and I think that the reason that one doesn't is literally just because there's grass, and the green doesn't really go super great with everything else. So I don't really know what to do, because I don't really want to pull what I did in Turtle Keep, which is just make the entirety of everything podzol to make it look better, because that doesn't make as much sense for Parrot Keep, and I want to try and do something different. So I'm going to keep working on this a little bit. I have a plan for, like, other parts of town, like down in, like, the middle here, because that would be more developed and maybe have, like, some stone paths that could look good. and they'd be more maintained. But like this area is not very like well off. The people here don't have a ton of money or anything. They're living in tiny little tree houses, so I don't think they'd have a super like well maintained path. I want it to be nice and like dirt and stuff, but yeah, I have a lot of work left to do because right now it just looks really bad. So I'm gonna try and like replace some of the ground with podzol, maybe make it do a little more terraforming, see if I can get to look a little bit better. Because the grass, it just like clashes, so I'm gonna try and fix that. I think I'm onto something here. I've added some like bushes and stuff, and it actually like kind of blends nicely now. I of course also bone mealed the ground, covered it in grass because it'd be a little overgrown, probably. But yeah, I added some bushes around. I think it actually like, I don't know, the grass doesn't bother me anymore. So I think this is what I'm gonna go with. I just have some trees. I mean, there's a little bit of just like weird space here that I'm not really going to do anything with, but I don't really mind that too much. It just kind of leads to cliff to the sheep pen. And then, of course, there's a path going up here, up to the farmer's hut, which is just pretty basic. It's just surrounded by podzol and stuff. I really like this bamboo wall, though. It's kind of like nice and feels a little bit secluded. I guess it could be a bit denser, but anyway, I love the little nature elements that are added in here. Although I have just realized I forgot a kind of key thing for the path that goes by the shepherd's area. It doesn't really connect to the sheep pen now, does it? Well, I did say I had this little blank area, so I guess I could try and make the path connect here. I don't really know what I'm going to do with this, because there's not really, like, any way into the sheep pen, but I guess I'll figure something out. There we go. I can't believe I forgot about this, but I think I could actually call this project done now with this nice little staircase thingy. I might want to get a few more sheep in here just because it looks pretty empty currently, but I'll do that later. For now, I think I'm going to end this episode here because I have finished this project and that's all I really want to do. But as with the end of every episode, we got to update the map. Because I love updating the map. This is like one of my favorite things to do. I think it's this middle one should have all of the sheep progress. Honestly, this is going to be yeah, it's not that visible because you can't really see the parrot cages or the sheep pen. All you can see is like the tiniest like little thing right in there somewhere. Can I actually, oh I can, mouse, hee. You can only see this little bit, but you know, it's still cool addition to the map. Eventually, the map will be completely filled with all of the stuff we build in Parrot Keep, which should hopefully look really cool. But for now, that looks pretty good. Nice little addition to it. A little bit slightly different shade of brown. It's very cool. And with that, I think I'm gonna end this one here. So yeah, like if you liked, subscribe if you like it. Have a great day. As always, bye bye.